Dave Jensen here again with Nifty Middleton. Most of you people probably saw the highlight clip on our website with Nifty. Phenomenal. Like I said, Nifty, I hadn't seen in a long time, and you probably haven't seen it
Well, it's
forever.
nice of Channel 38 to do those. Back in the old days, they used to do those.
Yeah, they
On
did.
just about every player.
Right,
So I was
right.
lucky enough to get the master copy.
It was phenomenal. It really was. And, watching that video, brought back a lot of memories for me growing up in the Boston area. And then, being fortunate enough to meet you and have a relationship and play with you on the Bruins alumni and have
We're
you
happy to have you.
Yeah, and have you as a friend is just phenomenal. But also having talked, about how we grew up and knowing your history and your nickname and your off ice. We're talking about the tennis ball because we talk about it all the time.
Well, as you know, I'm Canadian. I grew up in Toronto. In the 60s, the Leafs won 4 Stanley Cups. That was really the motivation. You only had 3 channels on TV, so no video games.
Yep.
So there wasn't a whole lot to do growing up except play hockey, especially in Canada. And I was in a suburb with a bunch of kids, seemed to all be the same age. It was a new suburb of Toronto. And we played street hockey every night. I had a light out front of my house, a street light. And I guess I was the organizer, which I'm still doing it with the alumni.
Yeah, no kidding.
But I called the guys up and they'd all come down. We'd have street hockey games after street hockey games. And that's where I learned, I always said, the stick handling especially, but with those frozen tennis balls, bouncing on a street, you just by chance, you're playing for fun, but you're learning things along the way also. And I was just comparing that to this. Today, the kids are so lucky because they have it all broken down. Your system here, it's got the stick handling, it's got the shooting, it's got everything else, and the skating. And we just learned it by chance on the street in Toronto, and I was very lucky to do that.
Yeah.
And somehow it changed over onto the ice.
Transferred fundamentals
onto the ice for me.
Yeah, me too.
That was the advantage. But the kids today have so much planned for them. They don't have time to run out and call a couple buddies and go play street hockey.
Right.
Not very often.
Right.
So, but they can come here in the summer. They can work on their individual talents, and all the fundamentals. Because you brought that up a little while ago, and you're right. The fundamentals are the important thing. You can't go to another level till you get very good at the fundamentals. Once you're a good skater, a good shooter, good stick handler, a good passer, it all comes with it.
Yep.
Then you can raise your game up.
Right.
And you've got it all here on an individual basis, and the kids are very lucky to have it.
No, I appreciate that, and it's when I created this place, I thought I didn't grow up that far after you, and it was the same thing. We only played. In youth hockey, I think I played like 16, 18 games a year.
Right.
And maybe, for 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And, 2 practices a week.
Right.
But we had really good coaches, which you did too.
Yeah.
That showed you those fundamentals.
Coaching is huge.
Huge. Showed us the proper fundamentals we're teaching the kids.
Yeah.
And we took it to our driveways and basements. And that's where 90% of the development came from.
Yeah.
And then we're able to transfer on the ice.
Yeah,
so,
doing it on your own is important. I have a 13-year-old stepdaughter. I'm constantly trying to get her to do more.
Right.
She loves the game, as long as she doesn't love it.
Right.
But doing that little extra to make yourself better. The ones that get really good are the ones that do it.
And
it just doesn't come by not doing it.
No, it doesn't. And you said we loved it, and we didn't have, like you said, I only had 3 channels on TV. We didn't have a clicker.
Yeah.
My dad was watching TV.
No video
so my
games.
fun time was street hockey.
Yeah.
I did it every day for fun and recreation.
Yeah.
But again,
and your social part of it.
Social part of it.
Social,
and with the proper fundamentals here from the coaches we have, and the limited on ice that said do this at home because we didn't have the ice.
You could try it on the street, what you learn on the ice, and vice versa.
And to be able to transfer that to the ice made me a much better player.
And now
like
you're
yourself.
doing it for all the other
and
kids.
I love
so it's something that is carried on.
A passion, and it's something that we looked at it and we thought, how do we make a difference in kids today? We think that's the key. The off-ice element with the on-ice and teach them what to do.
Hurry up and open one up on the North Shore.
We're coming up.
We're coming up with
stepdaughter. No doubt. Thanks for coming, Nifty.
My
It's been a
pleasure.
pleasure.
My
Thank
pleasure,
you.
David. Thanks.